It's a bloody beautiful day today, ladies and gentlemen, and the sun is shining. It's nice and cool, it's not too hot, and it's supposed to be dropping off temperature this weekend, and I've absolutely flew into work because there's next to no traffic, so it must be half term as well, so happy days there too. Since I've got like a significant amount of time before my bus leaves, I thought I'd have a wander over and have a look at this bloody countryside. Look at that! It's much better when there isn't any fog in the way, boys. I keep telling myself I should bring my other camera to either here or to work, and just like one lunchtime just have a walk around town and take some photos and stuff, because it's pretty, you know, in the summer. It's like the right time of year, I think, to get into photography, because like the light's just right. Anyway, there we are. Look, oh, you just get this countryside as far as you can see. Look at that beauty. Back to last video where I was talking about how I was getting issues redirecting standard output from my test runner. Turns out that's like an actual problem that happens with processors. I raised the bug on GitHub and someone's just like got back to me with 2 blog posts, and it's quite a common deadlocking problem when you have 2 things that are mixing standard error and standard output. So my bad, obviously, but it must be the way that like XUnit funnels outputs to errors and normal standard output. Likewise, Shudley does the same, but that problem doesn't happen with MS test. So, don't know, who knows? Either way, I found a workaround for it. It might have been more my problem than theirs, but who knows? The camera just shut down with an error. Just shut down. It was like error E16. Fatal error, shutting down. It's never happened before. That's interesting, isn't it? The first thought of these like Amazon locker things, fucking genius. Pay rise them. Obviously it would be a little bit more genius to use the one that's like actively easy to get to. Like I could go to one in Bath when I'm at lunchtime, you know? But we decided to post it there, so I had to make a detour on the way home, but oh well. I managed to beat Laura back, so I've just started. Oh, she's almost back now. But yeah, so I spent lunch today looking for a belt, because I have like a fabric belt, which doesn't have like a buckle. It's like it's kind of like a pull. You just pull it to the length that you need. And Hollister seemed to be the only brand that do them, and they were out of stock online and they were on sale, so I thought I'd just pop in the shop and have a look there. Also, I saw the new Fitbit in Currys, the new like the small one with a heart rate sensor, and I'm in an iron over it, but I'm trying to save up for a month. Since last month was so expensive and I need to buy a new cam belt at some point, so I'm trying to have a month where I don't really spend much. On my little shopping outing, I could have very easily headed on over to a locker and picked up me delivery, but no, we decided to deliver it here. For some reason. Today's been crazy irritating. Deployments drive me mad. I had an issue, well, I've been having a problem getting my thing deployed because it's on like its own box, and that box is still being configured, and like for some reason it can't connect to the message queue system. That was a problem. I then fixed a bug with someone else's stuff and then tried to deploy that. The deployment meant upgrading the service fabric SDK, and now that seems to be causing issues. So I've basically just had nothing but deployment problems today. It's not been great fun. Programming, it gives you an error trace and you can figure it out. There are many number of reasons why I'm getting the error message I'm getting, or something that says check the trace logs. What trace logs? I'm not allowed access to any of this. Why? Oh. Gosh. Anyway, dinner time. Well, cooking. It must be hard for like kind of having to wait so long between videos. It's a bit of a bastard, like trying to think of a name and like a description for them, and it must be hard to comment on and all that kind of stuff. I think the way that the videos are going at the moment are quite good. I think like I'm getting the right balance between kind of vlogging enough and also kind of trying to keep it interesting where I can. Each video is taking me about an hour and a half to sort out, of which some of that time I'm able to work on my own stuff, so I was programming. With an hour of that I managed to also program at the same time, because I watch the video through, then render it and upload it and then do the description and stuff. Yeah, I think it's going well. Sometimes I slip into daily vloggy style too much like I currently am, but I think they're okay. And we're getting like nice and concise. I think each concise day, so we're having lots of concise days instead of big horrible days, you know. I have been working after we went shopping, and here's the thing, right? I'm always really nice to everyone when I'm out shopping, and I got a free little sample slice of meat because I was walking up to the meat counter, and I was like, oh, I was looking at whether to have beef or this kind of thing. Then I looked at like the honey roast ham with mustard. I was like, oh, that looks nice. And then I saw this like kind of, it's a bit like honey roast ham with mustard, but it was like honey pickle roast. It's got like pickle around the edge and stuff. Oh. And I was like, oh, I might try that. And she goes, would you like to taste it first? And I'm like, yeah, okay. So she like cut me off a nice thin slice, had a taste of it. I'm like, I'll have a couple of slices of that, please. Always makes fun of me because I essentially just kind of flirt with people. I just flirt with staff all the time. But sometimes you get free stuff, so it works in my book. But yeah, what was I saying anyway? Yeah, I've been working on a plan while I've been doing my video because obviously I can't fully concentrate on programming while I'm doing my video. I've been planning out and like restructuring how I'm going to be attacking work over the next couple of days. I have like a big to-do list of things I want to get done before the weekend, so that's going to be good fun. I didn't get to do work at lunch today because I went out into town. I think I said that. I think it's often easier to take you know, if you like, I started lunch at about 1:15, and I think it's much easier to take your full lunch when you start lunch late if you go out, rather than like kind of me have my lunch and then sit and do programming on my laptop. I think that's much harder to do when I like start and finish lunch late, if you know what I mean. That's why I ended up going out, although I did genuinely look for a belt. I think there's a knack to writing like about pages on websites, because I've been stuck on mine for ages now, and I find it difficult to get into blogging on the bus because I just look at a blank page and like, what should I write? So much so that I actually tried programming today on the bus in Visual Studio, which didn't go well. You tried using Visual Studio on a touchscreen. It's hard work. All them like little shortcuts you just can't do because the keyboard, well, without bringing up the full keyboard, but that's hard to type on. So I'm almost convinced that there's like a French school nearby, because every time I leave work I always walk through like big crowds of kids. They don't look like they've come out of school, in fairness, but just like they're just hanging out doing stuff, and every single one of them is like speaking French. But they're there all the time, like every single day, every single week, so it can't just be like a one-day trick thing. Really bizarre, it's been bugging me for ages. I'm like, where have you all come from? It's in France, obviously, but there aren't even any schools in the town centre. I guess Bath's pretty small, so it doesn't have to be far out. But got a little Easter egg, boys, which isn't a pain to carry home at all. You know, something must be going on because the bus was full of just people talking French as well, like families. So, and it's half term, so it can't be schools. So, yeah, in short, something's going on. There's some kind of French event. Guys, I killed a squirrel. Fucking love squirrels. I mean, I assume it was a squirrel. I was going down one of the like country lane things, and I saw enough of it to just see it over my bonnet, and then there was a bump, and then in my mirror there was just a dead squirrel in the middle of the road, which wasn't there. Like, I didn't run over a dead squirrel. It was a live squirrel. I don't think I've ever run over a, obviously excluding like insects and shit, but man. I'm also trying to think of a logical reasoning why the bike shed is now literally half the bikes in the bike shed have gone. Which Laura sent me a photo of it this morning, and I just went to check, they're all still gone. And Laura seems to think that her lock looks like someone's tried to cut it. So I'm trying to think of a logical reason, because I can't think as an example that someone would go in and steal half of the bikes there. That isn't subtle at all. Just take half of them and then YOLO out, but don't take mine and Laura's. Now mine and Laura's are locked to each other, so they're harder to carry and harder to move, but you can still carry them out if you really wanted to. And I mean, if you're going to the length of taking out the other 8 bikes or whatever you've taken, 8 or 10, then surely carrying an extra 2 out wouldn't be too difficult. And I'm not, like, our bikes are like the shinier ones there. They've taken out the crappier ones. Oh man, I was so confused. Now I have a tendency to be a bit of a hypochondriac, but I'm diagnosing myself with the same symptoms that Laura had about a month or two ago. There's a bit of like a dull ache in my leg. Well, specifically when I was driving then, and last night when I'd like, in the evening when Laura got her dull ache. And I could swear my leg seems a bit bigger than it used to be. Is it swelling up? I'm torn because like even the chances of Laura getting what she got were like astronomical. For me, it's even higher. Let alone for both of us to have the same thing. Like, the chances are so slim. So that's my logical side of the brain. However, my subconscious is like, yeah, but you're probably going to lose your leg. Otherwise, though, we've had a pretty good day today. We've turned on our deployment, we got it up and running, and we got to see it's bloody fast. It just like churns through all of this legacy data and pushes it over into the new world. We found a couple of instances of bad data where we have like IDs duplicated and null stuff, but we'll have to just go through and either get rid of those or update them or what. Yeah, it's been a pretty good day. Lunchtime I also managed to sort out a dentist and my car, which needs to go back to the garage at some point in the future. And what else did I do? Oh, heading out for a walk around at lunchtime because I'd like eaten my lunch, sorted out, like made a couple of phone calls, and then thought I'd go for a walk for 15 minutes. There's definitely some kind of school around because there's about like 3 or 4 like teachers leading around like a huge classroom of like French kids. So there must be some kind of French school kid. We'll figure this out, won't we, over the course of this video. This is what's happened to Laura's bike lock as well. As you can see, it's like been sheared right through it. And obviously, like it's all the way around as well, like the entire plastic's gone. So I'm going to take it back to the shop and fight for a new one in the warranty. Because essentially, at the end of the day, that's now a weak spot for whoever did it to come back and carry on cutting through, you know? It's going to be a tough battle, but we're going to try our best. Laura's checked my leg over, and while I don't believe her, she says it's fine, so there's that. Also, got a new little ropey lock thing. But hey, Lovely didn't have a very good day today, and that meant her work. It's been like a stressful day for her. She also dropped her phone. It's not badly damaged, but it's a little bit like visibly like discoloured. Like it looks like air's got underneath the glass, which meant cracking open a bottle of wine, because that's what you do when you have a bad day. You crack open a bottle of wine with your swaggy new wine glasses with no stem. Fucking still love these, man, they're the best. However, that has a knock-on effect on the amount of concentration you can do for programming. I'm at this kind of like weird point where I'm like trying to, I have something that partially works. I'm trying to like kind of rip it apart and make it a little bit better. And I'm kind of just developing something in parallel, and then I'm just going to kind of fucking switch it back in again at the end, and then get rid of the old stuff. Because I'm changing the way that I'm basically pulling out the results. The way that basically it's not as safe as it used to be for me to just be able to read summary information. That doesn't always come with .NET Test. It's based on what runner you use and all this kind of stuff. So I'm just pulling out and like injecting in a logger and pulling that out. And the process of doing that means I get much more accurate results, but I need to do a bit of refactoring, and while I'm at it, I'm refactoring some stuff that's like with the compiler output's changed ever so slightly as well, not so much so it's broken, but enough that I'm just kind of going through and like making it a little bit tidy, but it's like difficult because I don't want to break what I've got. And yeah, I've basically got to break it to make it work in the new way. I'm in like that position where I'm like kind of hunting for a big chunk of time to like focus on it and stuff. Anyway, it's bedtime. My body clock is not what it used to be, guys. I'm really struggling this week. I went to bed early yesterday, and I'm still tired today. And I'm going to bed now. Just gone 12. It's Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, but it's also a Friday, and that means that, you know when you get ready in the morning, and like the kind of evidence I have that today is a dress down day is pretty slim. It's pretty easy that it could have been a prank. And essentially I'm the only person that rocks up in casual clothes. There was no like official email, there was just a message on the group chat, you know? So, well, if it isn't, I'm just gonna have to style it out, aren't I, essentially? And I mean, there was a group chat message on a public group chat forum that said, is it casual clothes tomorrow? And the answer was yes, no clothes required. So, is that a joke? I don't know. Oh, but otherwise, it's also Friday because it's bank holiday tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. It's Easter weekend. It's going to be grand. 4-day weekend. Oh, God, it hasn't happened in a while. Phew. No worries there, ladies and gentlemen. It was a non-school uniform day. It's late, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to end my video here because we have a nice long weekend, so I think I may as well make that a video. Even though this video is relatively short, so you're welcome. You're like, I don't even know what's happened in this video. But this evening we had a lovely Chinese takeaway, and we finished off a bottle of wine which we started yesterday. That was delicious. And then we watched some Mr. Robot and whatnot. Today has been a pretty productive day. I'm getting some work done on my own stuff. I've kind of got like I'm kind of building it up parallel, my new stuff in parallel, and then I'm going to like flick it over and delete all the old stuff. But I'm kind of like, at the moment, I'm doing it as parallel as I possibly can, without just like absolutely decimating it all and then working from the ground up, because as I'm like making some changes to the way the test runner and the compilers work and all that. Otherwise at work I found a bug, because the Fluent validator that we're using has a built-in method that validates email addresses, and that thinks that null is a valid email address, which is interesting. The impressive thing about that is that like we kind of discovered that emails were kind of being let through the system being null from like source all the way through. We're supposed to validate them out, and that wasn't happening yesterday, but we kind of had to focus on different things. And then today I was picking up a different story and building up a new validator, and then like the way that I test things like that, like a validator, or things that are quite like low level, like there's no mocking going on, it's literally a case of me just firing some data in and making sure what comes out. I nearly always use data-driven development. Testing, sorry. Previously, every other test that's been on one of these validators just sends in an invalid email address and says, is it valid? No. Okay, cool. Happy days. I sent in 6 different things which are all invalid, like null, empty string, one with like an @ symbol in, one without an @ symbol in, one with dots in, one without, and all that kind of stuff. And I discovered that null is valid, so I had to change the validation, so that was all good. We also highlighted how we were going to deal with some of what we considered to be balked data. The data isn't balked, just something we considered to be true isn't true. We was expecting a certain ID to be null, to be unique. It's not unique, so we need to do a bit of refactoring, and that's what I'm doing. Otherwise, yeah, we just had a nice fun day of like kind of meetings and stuff, and then just kind of getting your teeth stuck in around and about. Also went out for a nice walk on like a one-to-one with my boss, which was all good fun. I actually really like that. It's like every fortnight. I'm not sure if it's always going to be every fortnight, but I don't know. It's really nice because we just go to like go to the coffee shop, get a drink, and then just go for a wander, have a chinwag about what's going on. Basically, it's like a walk-in meeting. Whew. But yeah, that's been today. We have a nice long weekend ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen. What are we going to be doing? I don't know. You're going to have to come back. But it's going to be enough for me to warrant ending the video now. Crazy. I'll catch you later.